Absolutely, yes. Um, in my role as co-chair of our EDI committee, we made sure that EDI was made an essential criteria for all new academic posts. So if this is for a junior post, say someone coming in at the lecturer level, then the question is worded so that applicants have to show what they would do in terms of EDI if they were employed at UCL Geography. And if the post is targeted as someone at a more senior level, say an associate professor, then the question is worded to ask, what have you done for EDI in your present institution? And so I think, looking at science, science is personal, science is political. It doesn't sit in its own little bubble of finding out results, and therefore, by including the nature of being a person while doing science, that automatically brings in all aspects related to ED&I.
Oh yes, definitely. This is very important. At the moment, EDI seems to be the responsibility of a selected few, which is not correct. We have a community problem here, a problem in the scientific community. We have a societal problem here, and everyone has a role to play in it. So the responsibility and understanding should be everyone's. It is not right to say that there is a problem and marginalized people face it and you sort it out for themselves. So everyone needs to get involved. And it would be good to have new hires have an understanding to broaden their involvement.
The problem with that idea is people will say anything to get a job, right? They'll say anything to keep their job, right? So kind of almost like metricizing being a decent human being, which is effectively all EDI means, is problematic for me, because you actually can end up in a rather tricky situation where you say, well, we put in place all of these EDI measures and we hired all these black people and we got all these we got loads of queer people in, and then we treated them like hell and we damaged them mentally and physically. But we did improve our pie charts, our graphs look better because we looked more diverse. It's not the same as inclusion, right? So I think EDI has to be everything, including the I. And I think often people don't see that. They see it more as just being, well, we just need to be more diverse, quote unquote, which is just like more people and more types of different people. But it's more than that. It's actually a massive cultural shift in how we view each other and how we treat each other. Whether we should make EDI a condition of being hired, it often is paired with a conversation around, if we have a more diverse body of people, we are financially going to do better. And that monetizes minorities. And the problem with that is, obviously, as soon as you cease to fulfill that kind of monetary kind of value to your institution, then you're worth nothing. I've said it before as well. I think monetizing minority groups has been done before with the slave trade. And I mean, it kind of works really well for one set of people, but it doesn't work so well for the other. If you just view people as a number or as some value, we need to go beyond that.
Yes, it should. As I mentioned before, a lot of us, especially from marginalized groups, spend a lot of time doing EDI work that we can't invest in research or other things. And I think questions involved, once again, it's hard to sort of do that numerically. I feel like there should be a section in CVs and there should be attention paid to those sections in CVs. And and especially in interviews, you can ask more questions. Things like, if we employ you, what would you do to contribute to efforts of equity in this workplace? Or sort of ask what sort of previous efforts someone has made towards EDI. And yeah, take these things into account when evaluating CVs, look at sort of unpaid EDI work and so on and so on. Just, take that stuff into account. It would be great.
Absolutely, it should be essential. But it needs to be essential in two different ways. So on the one hand, we as a department, in our job ads and in the information we make available to an external facing audience, we need that information to make every potential applicant feel equally comfortable and equally confident in applying for a position in our department or in our university. They need to know that the culture they're going to find, the work environment, is going to support them. If they have protected characteristics or they're from an underrepresented background, they need to feel confident. We need to make that applicant feel confident that our department or our university is where they want to work. So it needs to work in that direction. And then it needs to work the other way, which is, in my view, yes, absolutely, it should be an essential criterion. It should be something along the lines of a demonstrable commitment to embedding and advancing equality, diversity, and inclusion in your teaching, your service, your research.
You know, if I'm honest, I wish it weren't, right? Like, I wish we were at the point where that is just something that's so entrenched into society and our cultures that it doesn't have to be a criterion to say, oh, you've got to be equitable or diverse and inclusive. Like, shouldn't we just be doing that anyway? I think so. So let's try and get to that point.